Well, it's the final home game of the year for the number 9 Michigan Wolverines, one of the top 3 teams in the Big Ten, but a game behind both Michigan State and Purdue with only 3 games to play. This is the Big Ten on ESPN, and it is a big one, a must-win for Michigan, trying to bounce back from their loss here this weekend against the Spartans. Nebraska and the Wolverines, our matchup tonight. Some news before we get ready for tip. Let's say hi to Molly McGrath.
That's right, Dave. Michigan's Charles Matthews will not play tonight after sustaining a right ankle injury against Michigan State. Isaiah Livers will start in his place. Matthews told me MRI results showed significant ligament damage. There's no timetable for his return, but Matthews said he's of course targeting next week's game against the Spartans.
All right, thank you, Molly. So that is big news. Dave Fleming, Dan Dockich, and one of the things that Coach Beeline talked about after losing to the Spartans was we need more minutes, we need more production from our bench.
Yeah, they got to put guys in the game. Austin Davis has played, didn't play. Eli Brooks. This is a big loss. Charles Matthews told me he got hurt in the Michigan State game and went back in the game, and in his words, that wasn't a great decision.
Well, the student enthusiasm has not been dampened by the loss to the Spartans, which does make the quest for a Big Ten title more difficult. The Wolverines not only figure they have to win out, they need some help.
Yeah, and Purdue's playing really, really well. Michigan State, even though they're down 2 guys. Holy cow, they came in here and beat the Wolverines.
Michigan gets that last head-to-head shot against their rivals underneath the basket. First shot attempt for Nebraska. Good look, didn't go down. We'll see how the Wolverines look tonight without arguably their best overall player, Charles Matthews. They got a lot of good ones on this Michigan team. Livers getting that start down to the freshman. Bucket of the night.
You know, as a coach, it's got to drive you nuts. It was a simple diagonal up screen that Michigan runs literally every game first play. And you get beat on it for a layup, it drives you nuts.
Well, I thought Isaiah Roby had a chance to get a shot up. He does shoot here and misses. Tim Miles told us both they need more shots from him.
I thought he would shoot more. I thought he had a better shot early than late.
Nice play by Glenn Watson to get up in the passing lane, knock it away. That's a rare Michigan turnover. Palmer, wild.
Here's something to look at. When guys drive against Michigan, they take the driver on with their chest. And Livers did it right there. He took him on with his chest, not his arms, his chest.
Livers, very talented guy. He has been easily the best player off the bench for Michigan. The point we were talking about just a minute ago, they're just getting hardly anything else from anybody else off the bench. That's a jump ball, so the Wolverines are going to keep it.
Actually, what I'm talking about here, watch the chest of Livers, number 4. See how he's right there. They keep their hands out, and then they lean into you with their chest. It's really a good move. It's hard to call a foul for a guy doing that, even on the move. And it's a taught thing. That is not just something that happens.
Oh, year after year, Michigan under John Beeline fouls less than almost any team in the country. That's a heave for Livers.
And he should laugh, because that was a heave.
Quick start for the number 9 Wolverines. They had not lost a game at home. They had not lost a game at home in a long time until Sunday.
Yeah, 20-some games. The key here for Nebraska is this kid, number 5. He's got to get going. At 25 against Purdue, when he scores and makes good decisions, they're in pretty good shape offensively.
Palmer almost traveled, didn't, and he gets the assist.
That was pretty good by Palmer. You said he almost traveled because he got off balance, but he was skilled enough to make a pass.
So Tanner Borkart, the first bucket for the Cornhuskers, the former walk-on, former state champion of shot put. He is a big, strong dude.
He's a handsome man. He looks like Clark Kent.
Just a little thicker.
Yeah.
I don't see him flying anytime soon. Teskey open for 3, and that's going to be for Borkart on defense.
Well, it always is. Because here's the key to that. When Michigan comes off ball screens, they come off aggressive trying to turn the corner. And what happens, the guy guarding Teskey has got to help. Like right there, you saw a ball screen and Watson didn't do anything. Now he's trying to go. Michigan's different. You set a ball screen for Michigan, 9 out of 10 times you're getting low, turning the corner, and drawing the screener's man. Right there.
Poole found Teskey, tried to dunk it home and got fouled. There is the coach. Once again, a candidate for National Coach of the Year. They lost so much from last year's national runner-up team. Arguably been better this year.
And people forget, Duncan Robinson, great shooter. First-round pick, Mo Wagner. People forget that Muhammad Ali Abdul-Rahman was not a good player. He was a great player and a fantastic finisher. Fantastic.
One thing about the Wolverines, I think they have been stirred. This is 12th year for John Beeline in Ann Arbor.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. And I think sometimes the program's been stereotyped as just a system program. He coaches them up. He has developed talent. He has developed NBA talent.
Real NBA talent. Like, guys that came here. Glenn Robinson Jr. was a afterthought recruit for a long time. Comes here at NBA. That list can go on and on. Karis LeVert, Pickerington High School. Good player, not great. NBA.
Nice play by Roby after Simpson had the rebound, and then Michigan left him open. Wolverines got away with one there.
They got away with it big time, and you got to knock these shots in if you're going to compete.
There's Tim Miles, and all the accolades for John Beeline. A lot of pressure in the other direction for this guy. 7th year at Nebraska. This has been an undeniably disappointing year.
Yeah, and a lot of it's due with injury, Isaiah Copeland and all that. But the truth of the matter is, Nebraska is a great basketball state. It really is. They sell out. It's a fantastic environment. And let's be honest, you got to win, period.
They were picked to be 4th in the preseason poll. They're 5-12 in the Big Ten play.
And I feel bad, but you know what? Everybody kind of deals with injury.
There's Watson.
That's pretty good. He's not a big kid, but he just bullied his way to the bucket. If he can get 20+, they have a chance in this game.
Coming off his season high 25-point performance at home against Purdue. A close game. They've had a lot of those. Not many of them have gone Nebraska's way, and that one didn't. Jordan Poole slips one to Teskey. Good defense by Roby. Teskey got it back though. On the floor. Little high. Livers somehow saved it in. Man, how has there not been a turnover? Good hustle. Teskey 3. Good. That's it.
Remember?
That's it.
Looks like him. You think he's a pro?
He's got a chance. He is a large human being.
Dave, I don't get intimidated by people's height.
Big dude.
Oh, is he long?
I don't think it comes through totally on TV. You stand next to him, he is a mountain of a guy. That's a bucket and a foul by a guy who perhaps could be an NBA player. We'll find out in a couple of years. It's a pretty good stroke from a 7+ footer, huh?
We're used to seeing that of John Beeline's team. Big guys can shoot it. Pitsnoggle.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Arby's. Arby's, we have the meats.
Well, how about that? We were kind of talking about the legacy that John Beeline has created here of sending players to the next level, not just a system program. Those are some guys who are pretty good at the next level, and I think you have a few more on this current Michigan team.
The feeling in the NBA is Karis LeVert was going to be an all-star this year, and he got hurt.
He's back playing and playing well again, I think.
Yeah, bobblehead night last night, he didn't score.
That's not good. That's not good.
But, Glenn Robinson, I was talking about him earlier. He was a kid that came out of Lake Central High School in Northwest Indiana and really wasn't recruited in the NBA. And Trey Burke, I think he was a player of the year according to some places. Some places he was the player of the year in the country, and he didn't get recruited by his hometown Ohio State. So John Beeline will develop him.
He developed a bunch of these kids. A developmental player is on the court now. That's Colin Castleton wearing number 11. He has not played very many minutes at all. In fact, he hasn't scored in the Big Ten until now. That's his first bucket in Big Ten play.
And everybody on the bench is smiling. Like, everybody stood up and smiled. He was a big recruiting race to get him to come to Michigan as opposed to go to Illinois. And you can see he's active, aggressive, and talks.
He's kind of your classic big man who can shoot, has a nice touch. You're going to sit on the bench for a year and learn and get stronger, and then you'll be ready to go.
And his body will look under John Sanderson so much different next year in Camp Sanderson.
How about the shot fake from Livers, but he didn't take advantage.
Livers a good-looking player. Can guard a lot of different spots, communicates on defense. Charles Matthews, he's one of their guys, but you don't lose much with Livers out there.
Dylan Watson, another good pass. Borkhardt just fell hard on the floor. And Nebraska got a timeout call to avoid the turnover. So a quick timeout. We'll take a 30-second break and be back right after this. Well, our next NBA Friday doubleheader, Friday, that's tomorrow. Damian Lillard and the Trailblazers playing really well. Be a challenge on the road against Toronto. That's the first one at 8 Eastern, right here on ESPN. And then out west, later at night, the Lakers and LeBron hosting the Bucks and Giannis. Did you know the Bucks have the best record in the NBA?
No.
You probably knew that.
No.
#1 record overall in the NBA, Milwaukee Bucks. That's
I did know that. Yeah, I did know that. No, I didn't.
You're a basketball guy. Watson, can he take advantage of a quickness mismatch? Missed the shot.
Yeah, he feels bad because he got rid of Xavier Simpson, which makes you're a little comfortable when that kid's not chasing you down.
One of the better on-ball defenders in the country, Simpson.
There's a hook.
And he loves that shot. He loves it.
Second best I've ever seen.
It is the most interesting shot in college basketball.
I don't know why more guys don't do it. It's under control completely. He does it. It just goes over his ear.
A 6-foot point guard who shoots a hook shot regularly. Borkhardt had it stripped away. Poole. Brasdakis gets to the free throw line. Missed it. A number 5 with a headband did pretty well here on Sunday, didn't he?
Played great.
Cassius Winston from Michigan State.
Where's a headband? Because he liked Baron Davis.
Baron Davis.
He thought it was cool.
And I'm wondering, I've never asked Glenn Watson whether he was a Baron Davis fan. It would make sense. He wears number 5. Long 3 in and out. There's Thomas Allen, the sophomore, undersized shooting guard. Castleton has Allen trying to guard him. Let's see if Michigan can get Castleton the ball down low.
This is what John Beilein talked about, finding the mismatch. There you go.
They did it.
They did it. Sometimes a mismatch isn't big on little underneath. Sometimes it's big against small on the perimeter, meaning small against big on the perimeter. That time really good by Poole. That's the beauty of Michigan. When you hear Beilein say something in a press conference, you can guarantee you're going to see the improvement the next game. Automatic. These players do not fight him.
And that's what he said Michigan State did to us, and we didn't take advantage of it. We had mismatches, and we couldn't get the right guy the ball. Roby to the basket, and just got rid of it before the shot clock went off.
And they're going to look at it. Bo Borowski's pointing. Poole was trying like crazy to chest him, and Roby just went and made a great extra dribble play.
So we will take the timeout. Dan's going to teach some hoops on the court when we come back while they take a look at the monitor. A lot going on here in Ann Arbor. Back after this. 19-7, Michigan with the early lead here in Ann Arbor. Time to go beyond the bucket with my partner Dan Dockich out on the court. Dan?
This is one of the great things that a John Beilein coach team does. I'm telling you, coaches, if you're having a problem with your offense, your ball screen offense, do this. So many guys come off the ball screen and they go this way. Beilein's teams get low and they attack. It forces the defender on the screener to freeze or help. Then you pop the guy and he's wide open. So many players don't come off the ball screen to score. Every guy in Michigan comes off the ball screen to score.
All right, so Dan does that. I get to draw. This is the defensive player that Dan wants you to focus on. He's the guy who has to make that decision once the screen comes. And you can watch the big man. Livers comes around that screen. Big man gets drawn. That leaves Teske wide open. Hits the 3. That's the simplicity of the John Beilein offense. Nice job out there.
That is exactly, and you can watch that. So many teams don't do that. By the way, no basket.
Yeah, they wiped the basket off. They did that little replay during the timeout. Did he get the shot off before the shot clock? No. How about Castleton, who has given Michigan some really nice minutes?
You know what Michigan does? You know why he's so ready to play? If you don't play or you play less than 15 minutes, they do what's called all-star games. And it's uber competitive. It's filmed, it's taught, and you got to play. And if you lose, you're punished. And all those guys you see in blue at the end of the bench, they play in them after every game. and it just helps develop, and it's competitive as heck.
You know, Jim Harbaugh is here tonight, the head football coach of Michigan, sitting right close to John Beilein. And the football coach does something very similar with all his young players redshirt. They play an actual game like the Friday before a Saturday game. They'll play the kids who are redshirting or whatever. It gives them real, not just scout team experience. They get to compete.
Right. Here they call them all-star games, which is
what?
Which is kind of an interesting way of taking the guys that don't get in the game and making them feel good.
Well, Castleton has hardly played. He hadn't scored in a single Big Ten game. Not 1 point. He's got 4 here in the first half against Nebraska. Brazdakis drives. That one, yeah, he lost the ball. Just tried to slap it up there.
It came off his palm.
Watson to his trailing teammate Palmer. I mean, those shots have to go down.
They do. You got to make shots on the road. I mean, it's pretty simple. Look at this.
Castleton running the floor. Extra pass. Brazdakis fouled. Missed the shot. But he's going to the line to shoot 3 free throws. Let's go over to Molly.
Well, Dave, in that last time out, John Beilein sat down and smiled immediately at Colin Castleton and said, "Get your blow now. I know you're not used to playing this many minutes in a row, but we need you to keep up your intensity." He finished with a smile and said, "I know that you've been waiting for this, I can tell."
Yeah. I mean, really. I mean, that's you come to schools to play. And the good thing about John Beilein, and this is something that people always ask me about playing for Bob Knight, and Beilein's the same way. If you practice hard, you're going to get rewarded at some point in the year. And last year, if you remember, it was Teskey. Teskey came on about halfway through.
Colin Castleton has not just not scored, he has hardly played any minutes in Big Ten games.
When we first came here, there's a kid on the end of the bench in a tie sitting next to John Sanderson. I thought that was Castleton. I just kind of assumed he was redshirted because he was not playing even a little.
3 buckets. That is not him in the tie.
No, but I swear I thought it was.
That's who you thought it was. 22-7. Brazdakis takes a seat. Nebraska needs some offense. Palmer almost had it stripped away. That's a foul, though, against Xavier Simpson. Well, we are done. Rivalry game out west from Pauley Pavilion, UCLA. Former coaching colleague of yours is the interim coach for the Bruins.
Yeah, Murray Bartow and I were graduate assistants, 86-87 at Indiana. And I watched the 85 4 overtime UCLA-USC, and I got to tell you, Walt Hazard did not get the ball to Reggie Miller very much in the overtime.
Yeah, how good was he really, though, Reggie Miller?
He lit me up my last game.
Last game of your college career.
Yeah. True story. Our assistant coach, a guy named Con Smith, who ended up coaching at Utah State for a while, said play off Reggie Miller, front a guy named Gary Melanson.
That was his scouting report.
Yes, when I went in to start the second half. I played off Reggie Miller, whap, 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 time to sit. Career over.
That's not the best scouting report of all time.
I held it against the guy forever. What are you doing?
Well, DeJulius, who's another guy who doesn't play much.
No, but how confident was he doing that?
Allen all the way against 3 Wolverines. What a follow dunk. My goodness. On Kenton out of nowhere.
Man, 3 guys went after the ball for Michigan. Kenton just got up and dunked it with his ear.
Sophomore from Chicago area. Simpson didn't use that Teskey screen. He found Livers wide open, though, for 3.
Matthews is hurt, right? Doesn't matter. Livers just fills in the role and plays as well as anybody. Plays as well as Matthews would have played.
It's almost the perfect emblem of what this season has been. No Mo Wagner. You rattled off all the guys they lost from last year's Final Four team. Allen really had nowhere to go.
Teskey was unbelievable as the ball was driven on the left. No big guy in the country would do what he just did. Watch what he does here. John Teskey is right here. This is a little thing. All right, the play goes. He goes down to the block. Now, Bart, stop it right here. See him faking at the ball like that? He fakes with the ball, and then he gets back. I'm telling you, no big guy ever in the country would do that. They would go with the ball, run at it, or stay with their own men.
Charles Matthews who?
Yeah, Charles Matthews might get Wally pipped here.
That foot's feeling better.
better feel better.
And Charles Matthews, the only senior, went through his senior night ceremony before this game, but not playing. And what a beginning for Michigan. Palmer with the left hand, missed it. So James Palmer off to a very sluggish start. Eli Brooks just in. Well, Beilein's, he said we need to develop a little more depth, just a few more minutes off the bench. He's using his bench. That was not a great pass.
Yeah, but that was really good defense down on the block by Amir Harris.
Allen short. Not sure why Poole knocked the ball instead of just grabbing it. Is DeJulius their next point guard? I mean, Simpson's got another year. He'll be back next year.
I'd say no. Look at this.
That's a pretty good move.
That's finishing at the rim. Watch this. Not only does he drive, not only does he get low, but watch how he explodes up to the basket right here. My answer to you is yes. Here's Michigan's next point guard.
Champ Week, March 8th through the 17th on the networks of ESPN.
We're just days away from one of the best weeks of the year. Is there a particular tournament you think is going to provide the most drama or intrigue? Or
I'm looking at the MAC, M-A-C. Buffalo's been great.
the 1A MAC?
Yes.
Yeah.
Buffalo's been great, but my Bowling Green Falcons are playing really well, and the Toledo Rockets as well. I'm looking forward to that one.
That wasn't the answer America was expecting from you.
Well, they weren't.
I don't know, but that's a good answer. You know, that Buffalo, everybody thinks just a total lock. Yeah, there would be some pressure on them, I think, in that
Bowling
tournament.
Green beat them at Bowling Green. I do too. I mean, you don't want to leave it out of the MAC. They haven't had two teams in the tournament since '99. And Wally Zerbiak made a run to the Sweet 16.
Shot clock winding down. Palmer doesn't know it. Nobody knows it. They didn't get that shot off.
Kind of what this team's become, right?
Saturday in the American, Houston, 8th-ranked team in the country, only team with one loss. UCF's been playing well. That one at 4 Eastern, and then Carolina also playing very well into the top 5 on the road against Clemson. Both games on the ESPN app as well. The Cougars 14-1 in the American.
Oh, Iggy. Oh. No, I do want to talk about Houston. I want to talk about Jordan Poole ripping a 3 at the buzzer last year. Otherwise, they were in the Sweet 16 last year.
That was the round of 32.
Yeah.
Michigan needed the drama from Poole. Otherwise, they wouldn't have advanced to the Sweet 16. Wow, that's a goaltend.
Yeah, I think it hit the backboard first. Boborowski's 99.9%, the referee that made the call. No, but Houston has
98.
Houston certainly hasn't let anything bother them. Let's see if it hits the backboard. It did right there.
Oh, for sure.
They've been great, and they are tough. I watched a couple of their games. Calvin Sampson's got that crew playing hard, and well, I'll tell you something else who's doing a good job is Memphis. 18 and
That's good defense from Palmer. Got his hands up, knocked the pass away.
I was going to say Memphis 18-11, but that's not right.
Watson for 3.
Penny Hardaway's doing a good job. Mick Cronin's doing a great job.
Americans act, is it safe to say, not quite as good, man. Now, see, that bugs me. Amir Harris could have just grabbed the ball.
That happens a lot. Just grab it and go the other way. You don't just spike it on his head.
It would be Nebraska ball.
It would.
I know it's hard in the moment to make that split-second decision, but DeJulius was falling to the ground, just flip the ball up.
Memphis is 18-11. I thought I read that before the game. I've watched their games. Penny Hardaway is doing really well. 14-2 at home. I've watched. I think they're really good.
Is he right? He's sort of playing the victim. Hey, nobody likes me.
Yeah,
people are jealous.
He said that. Next thing you know, they were down 25-1 in a game, and obviously a lot of people on Twitter were having fun with the jealousy.
John Beilein doing a little teaching here. Michigan had to call a timeout to save a turnover. 31-13, the number 9 Wolverines. Well, it's a 3-team race now in the Big Ten. It's been a heck of a year in this conference. And if you look at the schedules for the 3 teams that are still in contention, it's the Wolverines that need help. They get that head-to-head matchup against Michigan State to finish the regular season, but they need Purdue to lose.
And let's be honest, if you're going to win a championship, those 3 games for Purdue, you win.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that simple. Now, Michigan State, Indiana's playing hard, and Indiana already beat them. Nebraska, we're watching them, and the win at Michigan here last week certainly made it easier. But Indiana's a difficult one. That's not going to be easy for them.
Purdue will be favored in all 3 of those games, but 2 on the road. You go on the road in this league, I mean, they have a legitimate chance to stumble, lose a game.
There's no question. And Ohio State, they're going to play well. Ohio State will play well on Saturday. Whether you can win in Mackey, I don't know. But the last home game, that kind of thing. But nice pass. No wraparound. We've seen a lot from Simpson today, right? A lot of sauce.
He's saucy after what happened on Sunday. You think there's a possibility he got a little overcooked before that game against the Spartans?
Yeah, and he got into a little bit of offensive thing. He had 19 against Cassius Winston, but let's be honest, to the victor goes the spoils, right?
And Cassius Winston was awesome in that one. That was a good move from Amir Harris. This is the pass we're talking about.
Yeah, watch this no-look wraparound. No-look, boom. That is nice.
It was almost like the hook shot version of a pass.
Yeah.
He works on the hook shot. Maybe it's helping his passing game.
He can hook it.
I mean, this is what he does during the hours before a game, and he does it during the week. He works on it a lot.
Here's what I like about that. And young kids out there, why be one-dimensional in your game? Add to your game. You think about the great players. Magic Johnson came in the NBA, couldn't make a jump shot. Michael Jordan didn't have post game. Then they became not good at it. They became great at it. Magic Johnson actually had a hook late in his career, beat the Celtics.
Stakis hits the 3. He was asking for a foul. There was contact. Michigan shooting lights out and blowing this game wide open.
Well, that was good by Brasdakis.
Harris floater.
Man, Brasdakis did a nice job of keeping his feet, keeping his hands up. Harris, nice floater, but man, that's tough defense by Michigan.
Nebraska had to earn that one. Well, the Wolverines, even without arguably their best all-around player, Charles Matthews, has that foot-ankle problem. Hoping to be back this week. Hoping to be back for Michigan State next weekend. Another 3.
That was set up because Simpson came off the ball screen hard, and Teskey sprinted to the post, which drew Brasdakis' defender. That was really, really well executed.
Well, Brasdakis came out struggling with his shot a little bit. He got to the free throw line, knocked down a couple free throws, and now the stroke looks a little bit better.
One from the right side, and the same action, both sides. You see Teskey on the block, open wing, three-pointer, same action. Big-time school.
Here we go. I thank you, Sean. Yeah, we both signed long-term deals here in the last couple weeks. Did you hear that?
I did, but you were suffering a little. You were hopeful.
I did, to seriously answer the question. Hey, who wouldn't want to watch Bryce Harper every day?
You know, Dave, if I'm on a Major League Baseball team's announcing team, as you are, I want to have it be fun, don't I?
It's fun with Bryce Harper.
Right.
The Phillies broadcasters are going to have a lot of fun with him. Yeah, we'll survive. Out of the timeout, Nebraska just, not much is going right for the Cornhuskers.
No, they keep driving into bad spots and shooting over guys. The idea is to shoot without guys there.
All right, whistle, foul. Let's go over to Molly.
Dave, I'm here with one of your friends, Jim Harbaugh.
Hi,
Coach,
Jim.
Dave, the great Dave Fleming.
Dave's getting us all the access. Coach, what do you think about this Michigan basketball team this year?
I think they're fantastic. Play tremendous defense. really taken off defensively over the last year and a half, 2 years, and just fast, athletic, and shooting the lights out of the ball.
I saw a lot of interaction between you and John Beeline before the game. Can you describe your relationship to me?
I'll tell you what, it's great sitting down here. Coaching is not dead. Coaching's alive. Watching both of these coaches, Michigan coach, the assistants, Coach Beeline, the Nebraska coach. I mean, they are coaching down here. It's tremendous to be down here and see it.
They are. It's getting heated. I have to ask you about your football team. What should we look forward to with Michigan's football team next season?
Oh, we're grinding right now. Winter conditioning and strength training, trying to get strong and fast. Spring practice is coming up, so we're in the beginning stages. Team's working hard and excited to get on the field, practice.
I know you have some trips planned for the offseason. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we're going to South Africa. Really excited about that. We leave May 2nd, about 150 strong. Going to go to Cape Town, Johannesburg. Going to do a safari. It's going to be tremendous.
You've been doing this every year. Why do you do this with your team?
The experiential learning of it. Not all learning's done in the classroom or on the football field, so you got to get out. You got to see things. You got to experience them for yourself.
Coach Harbaugh, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
All right, tell Dan Dockich, Dave Fleming, two of the greats.
That's our guy. We love Coach Harbaugh. And you know what? All sincerity, I love the fact that he does that with his players in the springtime.
Yeah.
And you know why I love it? Because when you're a high-level athlete, you don't get to study abroad. You don't get to do a lot of the things that regular college students get to do, and you get the privilege of playing, and you get lots of other benefits. But that's Coach Harbaugh's point, is those kids deserve to have some of those kind of experiences.
I think it's absolutely fantastic.
I really like it.
I took my team to Chile, and we took them to Chile because everybody went to Europe. Everybody went to Italy. Well, you know, you go to Canada, you can do whatever. So I said, hey, let's go to Chile and see something different. The kids, my former players, still talk about it.
That's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Great. I just full disclosure, I've known Jim for a long time. He was at Stanford. I'm a Stanford alum. He was in the Bay Area. We became friends.
Didn't you do play-by-play?
I did.
Did you rip him?
Well, he was reviving Stanford's program like nobody in 50 years, so no, I didn't.
He had a pretty good quarterback.
He recruited like heck. All the great NFL players that Stanford has produced, that Harbaugh recruited. Zach Ertz and Andrew Luck and David DeCastro, guys who might go to the Hall of Fame, literally.
All right. I can see the corner. Richard Sherman was there.
Richard Sherman, Doug Baldwin.
Kid from
many others.
Kid that played with my son at Zionsville High School as a linebacker, man. I can't remember his name.
Yeah. Did he start Looters?
Blake Looters.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so good. Harbaugh was right. You're a legend.
It was kind of a cool scene. Molly was sitting there talking to Jim, and Jim Beeline, Harbaugh was talking about how hard the coaches are coaching. Beeline was coaching hard.
He was. He up 25 at the time. Still on Bo Borowski. Good for him.
So a minute to go until halftime. Can Nebraska come up with something positive before heading to the locker room?
I'd like to see Glenn Watson get another shot here. He just looked good on the last one. Might as well go back to him.
Palmer's been very quiet. He's their leading scorer, one of the top scorers in the Big Ten.
That has not worked out well. He's probably going to make this. Nope. I haven't been right in 2 months.
The famous one was at Illinois, right?
Yeah, that was beautiful.
This is not going to end well or something like that?
It wasn't, but he pulled up and knocked it in.
And did pretty well.
For them. Yeah, for them. I just think if you're going to play and you're going to play against Michigan, you got to make sure you don't take the ball in the bad spots. And Nebraska has taken the ball in the really bad spots.
That is a good spot.
That's a great spot. That's a difference.
This is not good news. Hopefully, Brazdeikis is okay. I think it's more a collision than a twist or something like that. Still hurts. Already with Charles Matthews on the bench, one of Michigan's best players, not playing tonight with a boot on his right foot and ankle. Ignas Brazdeikis from Ontario, Canada, freshman, having a tremendous year.
Right there.
Yeah, wouldn't you call that a collision injury?
As long if it's think his left knee. It's the left knee. But you know what? You're talking about spots. You can tell good offensive basketball by where the ball gets to. Meaning, if you're driving the ball, is there a guy in front of you? Is there a guy next to you? If you are driving the ball, do you have a plan ahead of time? And Michigan rarely does anything going to the basket without a plan. And truthfully, Michigan State rarely makes a pass without a plan.
Final shot coming up here, the first half. Watson goes to the rim, and Teskey just smothered him. Roby, final second, and didn't get it off. My goodness. That's
a bad spot, right?
Bad spot.
I mean, look where Watson took the basketball. Where are you going?
Bad spot, bad half.
There are two things in coaching. What are you doing and where are you going? Two sayings offensively.
Let's go to Molly with the coach.
Coach, what's your team doing well despite Charles Matthews' absence?
I think we're really moving the ball well right now. I mean, we came out making shots. You know, who can say that? You know, John Teskey, we haven't even practiced any of those plays the last couple of days, and he just dots a couple shots. And we're really playing solid defense. I think we're inspired by Charles. He's such a great defensive player. We're all trying to do that. I mean, they have 21 points. That's a pretty good defensive half.
I just spoke with Jim Harbaugh. He complimented your coaching intensity. What did he just say to you as you're walking off the court?
I think he's going to come in at halftime and listen to our halftime talk here. He's got a longer time at halftime, but my whole halftime will be right now. I don't want to screw these guys up. They're playing pretty well.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Molly. Pretty cool relationship between two really good coaches. Harbaugh said he's coaching hard. Yeah, Zubin, Sean Dallin after this break. Back here in Ann Arbor as we get ready to start the second half. What a first half for number 9 Michigan. 43-21. That's the lead for the Wolverines over the Cornhuskers. Dave Fleming back here with you in Ann Arbor. Michigan very, very impressive against a Nebraska team that is admittedly struggling, but the Wolverines coming off a loss of their own played extremely well. Time to take a look at our game track brought to you by Alliance for Lifetime Income, and you see the numbers there. James Palmer averaging 19 points a game, did not score in the first half. Lots of scoring from Brazdakis, from Teskey. Michigan shot the ball extraordinarily well, 65%. For more on the first half, let's go over to Molly McGrath.
Well, Dave, as promised, I ran into Michigan's football coach Jim Harbaugh back by Michigan basketball locker room. He was simply just observing John Beilein, telling me that he wants to observe different coaches and their coaching styles, so he didn't speak to the team, but he was back in the locker room listening to the halftime message. He went into the coaching room to listen to the strategy, and a lot of admiration between these two coaches, and Beilein's message to his team, just play to win. It was very simple.
Yeah, pretty cool. Jim comes over to say hi to us here at the scoring table. Great to see one of the best coaches in the business. And for some more frivolity before we start the second half, let's go over to Dan.
Hey, it's a 23-point lead, so we're doing this. Don't at me, people. Xavier Simpson, when he drives down the lane and he shoots his hook, he puts the hook shot over his ear. It's really kind of cool, and he squares himself to the basket. Now, I didn't knock that in, but I haven't practiced, but that's what he does. He drives it down, and he wants to shoot the hook shot over his ear and see if he can knock it in. All I can do for you is to knock in shots with a microphone. It's not that hard, people.
You still got it.
23-point game. Don't at me.
Still got it. Behind the ear, that's the tech, and he does. This kid works on it so hard, and it has been. He does it once or twice, sometimes more per game. Xavier Simpson, that was his only bucket in the first half, but he had 3 rebounds, he had 5 assists. What didn't go right for the Wolverines in that first half? Not much. Maybe only the fact that Charles Matthews is missing this game. Good news is Brazdakis, who had that collision, he's back on the court to start the second half. You hit 1 of 2. I like that. You haven't practiced it. I bet if we ask you to do that again in a week, you'll make them all. Please.
That was so lucky, the second one. But look, to your point, let's go the other way. Like, if you're Nebraska,
yes,
you got some serious questions you have to answer about yourself if you're a player. I mean, the coaching staff, I know those guys. Mike Lewis, Jim Molinari, Gates. I mean, they're great people that work really hard. If you're a player, you got to ask, are you paying attention? Do you want to win? Do you have heart? I'm just telling you.
Yeah, those are fair questions.
They are. They're, you know, we so often give players a pass. Like Roby's not starting. Well, I guarantee you there's a reason.
Well, that's good play. And Kenton is kind of one guy who gave him a little burst in the first half.
Yeah. Play guys. I love what Miles is doing here. Palmer's not playing. Roby's not playing. You want to play hard? Sit.
Yeah.
So many coaches are so afraid of players. Like, what are you afraid of? They transfer anyway. Who cares?
He is sending a clear message at the start of this half. Clear.
I never root. I never do. I don't root. But I like when guys play hard, and I like when coaches stand up to players.
We showed those numbers just a moment ago. Michigan's made 7 threes, by the way. Nebraska hasn't made a single one. They were ranked in the top 25.
Nebraska, you said it. They were picked 4th. This kid's taking advantage right here. Good for him.
Nana Kenton, sophomore.
He decides he's going to get in the passing lane. He's focused, drills a shot.
Best player on the floor for Nebraska so far, that kid.
Yeah.
That's their first 3. Poole had his 3 blocked. Man, it's been another tough night for Poole. He tried to hustle and get the ball back.
Poole's a little too loose for my taste at different times.
Kenton probably should have just regrouped.
That's what they're trying to get away from. A guy that makes a shot all of a sudden thinks it's his turn. No, just run what you're running. Do what you do.
Teskey down low, and he had a great look, just didn't finish. Borkhart's having a tough time on the defense.
Teskey's just so much bigger. And what Borkhart's not doing is he's not doing his work early. He's not pushing him off the block. He's letting Teskey go into him as opposed to he go meet Teskey outside the lane.
Should I let you take a crack at number 34's name?
No, okay. I got no chance. I was waiting for you.
Thorbjarnarson?
Yep.
From Iceland.
Skull up, or whatever they say in this.
They do have the great chant. Brazdakis loses it. Yep. Okay, you can try now. Want to?
Yeah. Thorbjarnarson.
Yeah.
I'm a pro.
Not bad.
Every name isn't as easy as Dokic. I mean, Thorbjarnarson. Iceland.
From Reykjavik?
Oh, Reykjavik's easy. Yeah. Olympics.
That's the New York of Iceland.
Absolutely.
Brazdakis on the attack. Oh, we saw the dunk. Kenton at least challenged him there, going to the basket. That's the guy who's playing right now for Tim Miles.
If I'm Tim Miles, I want Roby and Palmer to have to make a decision. And that decision is simple. Am I going to quit? Because you're not playing hard anyway. Like, you're not competing. You're down 23 and you really didn't compete. Or am I going to say, you know what? This is kind of embarrassing. I'm going to go out and I'm going to bust it, and I'm going to demand that my teammates bust it. That's the number one thing for guys that are the best players. The number one thing is demand of others. Hold others accountable to a high standard. And if you're not doing that, you're cheating your team and you're cheating your program.
So let me ask you this. Do you test him in this game, or do you sit him out?
I would
give him another chance here tonight?
I would give him a shot, but this is not a one-game thing. This is not based on this game.
Correct.
And Coach Miles told me he went nuclear before the Purdue game. And nuclear is never a bad thing before a big game.
Well, kind of a wild shot. Maybe semi-counts as an assist from the sophomore from Iceland. Borkhardt finished it. They're playing better.
Yeah, they're playing better. Hey, look, you always play better when you're playing harder. You can be a little less talented, but just play harder.
Livers got free. Kind of fumbled it on the way up.
And he couldn't go the right side. He just needed to take his time.
You talk about that a lot. Be patient.
You get the ball inside. You just take your time. There's no hurry.
Brazdakis, a little James Harden action.
Yeah, and they've got Michigan playing a little loose right now too, which, you're up 17. 17 is not insurmountable. I mean, 17 can go away in 4 minutes.
Watson against the big man. A little too strong.
Good shot, though.
Good shot.
I don't know if he needed to fade away like he did, but.
Thorbjarnarson trying to hang with Simpson. Teskey for 3.
It's like the great elixir. that high ball screen back to Teskey is going to be open. It just becomes a matter, does he make or does he miss? That's it. Really hard to defend. You can't switch it because Teskey's a mountain.
That's why he can play at the next level, right? I think.
I mean, what's the NBA? Big guy shooting.
He's big enough to get in the way. He's a good shot blocker, and he knocks down threes.
Like, there is nobody on Nebraska's bench that deserves to play. Nobody. Like, don't at me about Palmer. You're 0 for 8. You haven't really given great effort. Roby, I don't care what any NBA guy says. Nobody deserves to play. Look who's coming in now.
Yep. Not Palmer. Teskey will go to the free throw line. He's having a big night. We're going to have to break out the roster. That's Brady Hyman, the freshman. He'll be coming in when we come back. 50-32 Wolverines.
Good for Nebraska.
50-32 from the Department of Bad Timing. What inspires James Palmer Jr.? How that might translate to winning college basketball's highest individual honor in our Wendy's Wooden Watch.
Being on the top 25 winning award watch list is definitely great. What drives me is just, coming from where I come from and seeing how I grew up and stuff like that in my family, and I just want to, live a better life.
He's on the mid-season or whatever point of the season you call it, top 25 list for the Wendy's Wooden Award. He's sitting on the pine right now.
One of the things you got to do to win the award is get on the court.
Teskey has a new career high, 18 points. Let's go over to Molly.
Well, Dave, I asked a member of Nebraska's staff why Isaiah Roby wasn't playing so far in the second half. He said, we want to start the guys that brought energy in the first half. And then Tim Miles pointed to all the players who haven't played yet in the second half and said, if you want to see the floor, I need you to bring it. I need more energy from you if we're going to chip away at this.
Look, Palmer 0 for 8. Isaiah Roby 0 for 4. And no defense, really. Now, again, you can't take the ball in that position, and you got to get back.
Wow! Jordan Poole! That counts for 2.
Well, look, sometimes hustle gets you in trouble, and you get back on defense, and Poole needed this because there hasn't been much out of him, and he's so important, but he just sprinted back. Again, I go to what I said earlier. When you take the ball into bad spots and shoot over a set defense, man, all of a sudden you get runouts, you get threes. This kid is, what did Beeline say, swag upon swag.
Yeah, after the shot against Houston, it got him to the Sweet 16. Wow. And that's why didn't you call him earlier this year in a game we were doing the best NBA prospect in the league?
I'm looking around the league and I'm saying, okay, who's a better NBA prospect? I don't know. He's pretty good.
He's really good.
But I think he is a little too loose. Just a little too.
Baseline jumper from Brady Hyman. Nebraska offensive rebound. There's Hyman, one dribble. He challenged the big man. Hey, he didn't finish. That was a good move.
It was a really good move. I mean, he went hard, and as you said, he sprinted back into play.
Cool, nice shot fake. Just found a little opening.
Yeah, that wasn't great. You got to stay down on that shot fake. Look, you win in the Big Ten with your best players playing really well. And again, if Nebraska wants to end this year in any fashion, they must get their best players right. And right now they're not. Now they're going to get a chance to come back in right now. We shall see.
And we'll see. Message received or not. 3 of the starters are coming back in for the first time in the second half. Long 3. Teskey. He's everywhere. David DeJulius.
I don't know about you, but I like this DeJulius.
I do too.
He's got some pop in it. And some confidence.
Playing alongside Xavier Simpson. Livers from the corner. That one no good. Watson, tough contested 2 is good.
He's the one guy that can go get a shot. I mean, nobody else out here right now. And Glenn Watson, to me, has been a terrific Nebraska basketball player. He came St. Joe's High School, great high school coach Gene Pingatore, Isaiah Thomas's high school. the late Daryl Thomas, but he's been a really, really good player.
All right, so that foul sends us to a timeout. When we come back, we're going to see what do those starters have in them. Back here in Ann Arbor, Dave Fleming, Dan Dockage, Molly McGrath with you. We do have something interesting going on here despite the lopsided score, 57-34. Three of the Nebraska starters who play huge minutes for Tim Miles did not start at the beginning of this second half. Not a good performance in the first half. And so until the second timeout, 8 minutes in, the coach waited to put those three kids back in. So how will we know if the message was received?
Well, how hard do they sprint? Are they in a stance? Are they contesting shots? Not just out there on shots, are they contesting shots? Watch off the ball. When they get a screen, are they cutting hard? Are they sprinting, not jogging? It's one of those things where you're going to know it. And the results are, they're not going to win this game. And the results aren't going to be there in this game. But they can learn something about themselves if they decide to get after it hard. Because it was an awful performance by Roby, by this kid Palmer in the first half. It was awful.
Teske having a great game. He comes out. Colin Castleton is back in, and we'll see. Roby, well, somehow that wasn't a double dribble. Somehow it wasn't a travel. It was a foul against Michigan.
A foul against humanity. Such a bad play. But I'll tell you this, okay? They threw the ball to Roby. He snapped it when he caught it. You heard it pop. And then he went hard to the rim.
I think there was a little joke just had between Coach Beilein and Coach Harbaugh. We weren't privy to it, but
it went something like even refereeing in our league is no good. Something like that.
He made Jim laugh, I know that.
Isn't that the guy that came from Ohio State? Didn't Ed Warner come from Ohio
Michigan's
State?
Offensive coordinator. If you say he's looking good in the maize and blue, that'll make some people in Columbus unhappy.
I'm not going to get into it. Harbaugh was nice to us.
Really nice.
Yeah. Well, layup.
Castleton, one dribble, and count the basket.
You know what I like about Castleton? He's got a little stuff to him, right? He's kind of pumping his fist. Watch this. Great shot fake. He shows the ball. Ball goes up. Guys go up. And they gave him the and one.
Kenton landed hard, and he's still down. He went way up on that shot fake. Yikes.
He's played hard.
He's the best. He has been the best player on the court for Nebraska tonight.
I agree. I think
Glenn Watson's played pretty well.
Watson's been fine, but that kid has really played hard. In fact, his hard play and his toughness got him hurt right here because he jumped up in the air so high and so aggressively. I had a player one time tell me it's the combination of falling on your lower back and fear. Like you're flipping over and you're scared to death as you're halfway
down. He did get called for his fourth personal foul. So aside from the fact that he's hurt and he has to go to the bench, he didn't hit his head. I think that's a little bit of good news. So hopefully he's going to be okay. When we are finished here from Ann Arbor, USC, UCLA, we just talked about Michigan and Ohio State. That's a pretty good rivalry in one city in LA. SC UCLA tonight when we're done, 9 Eastern, right here on ESPN. You can find it on the app. Kenton's going to go to the locker room, it appears, get checked out. Colin Castleton having a night of his Michigan career.
I'm telling you, I'm watching him. When he came in the game in the first half, he was communicating, talking. He's talking right here.
He hustled to try to get back. I don't know if he was late or the rotation wasn't quite as good as it needed to be.
The rotation wasn't there. Again, what I showed earlier in the first half, they came off the ball screen hard that time, so Castleton had to stay to thwart it. And then the help was late.
If I were a Michigan fan, I'd be excited about what I'm seeing from him. He challenged that shot. And he's going to run the floor here with DeJulius,
who
hits him on the move, and he missed the dunk. Wow.
Man, he ran right by two Nebraska players. Should not happen.
Palmer had it knocked away. Roby spins it in.
Yeah, good for Roby. First half, he settled trying to shoot over bigger. Second half, gets second chance. He's gone to the rim. If I were Nebraska, I don't think you can do it, but we'd be practicing at midnight.
Poole. Razdakis with his natural left hand didn't get the roll. We talked about Teskey's career high, 20 for him. Castleton's career high, 9. Kind of knocked away from behind by Poole.
That's just playing hard. That's playing hard. You want to know what playing hard is? You come from behind and you knock it out, and then you hit the ball outside. Watch Castleton here. Look, he runs right by Palmer. Palmer's like, what are you doing? You just got benched for not running hard, and you let a guy come off the bench and run past you.
That is a bad look.
That's a terrible look. You turn, you sprint, you put your head on the front of the rim. If nothing else, even if it's fake, to show your coach that you care about what he said.
Thomas Allen with a little crossover move. That's a 2.
There is enough talent on this basketball team and enough good coaching on this basketball program to win more than they have. This is not a coaching problem. This is a player situation. I'm not afraid to rip a coach.
Livers saved the turnover. Roby was playing hard, trying to go for the steal. Brazdakis, after the nifty pass, had a shot blocked. It goes out of bounds off of the Wolverines.
I'll show you something else. You asked me about hustle.
Yeah.
In that whole play, Roby played really hard, but Palmer, through the whole thing, stood at the top of the key. I'm just trying to I'm not trying to pick on a kid. I'm trying to give you things that the coaches are looking for.
I asked, yeah.
Right.
I asked, how do you know?
That's one of the ways you know. He could have been in there pinning the ball off the glass.
We had a quick glimpse of Nana Kenton from the tunnel watching the game. We'll see if he can get back to the bench. Roby drives.
All right. Play like that.
Challenge the shot blocker at least. I think Tim Miles can live with that.
Yeah, you can. You can see determination in his face.
Julius.
He's diving.
Razdakis took his time.
You have a son, right? He plays basketball.
Yeah.
Take your time. Just take your time.
I'm going to tell him tomorrow when I see him.
Telling you. Hold the ball for a 2 count. Take your time around the post.
He's 9.
It's time to go. These kids are passing on.
Palmer has finally scored in this one.
There you go.
James Palmer Jr. 3.
How's your father? And he missed it.
Teskey offensive rebound. Julius is going to be strong and quick enough to get to the basket.
You're right. He already is.
Livers, not a great pass.
He had his mind made up. He was doing that, and then he looked and saw and just threw it.
Allen again. In and out. Jordan Poole. Teskey back to the free throw line. Career night for him. A lot of smiles for Michigan, 64-43.
Look.
I'm sure some people are saying you're being hard on him. I don't think you're being too hard on him.
Here's my thing with this. First, it's true. Second, if you need another voice and you're the coach, I'll give you the voice because it's true. If it wasn't true, I'm not picking on anybody. We're here to call the game as we see it, and this is fairly obvious, well, very obvious to everybody in the building.
Teske missed both free throws. Thomas Allen, you saw him limping back toward the locker room. He twisted his ankle on that last play before the timeout, so hopefully he's okay. Nebraska already very thin. That's part of what's going on with this team. Brazdeikis, high arcing three.
That's just a good shot. I mean, that's just, you're out there on him, and he's just going to lift up. But that's a reason they've been comfortable all game because of not much resistance from Nebraska.
We saw a shot of Isaac Copeland on the bench, and they have missed him. He's arguably their best player. Tore his ACL. Palmer, that's the most aggressive move he's made.
There you go.
And he tries to get the ball back. He did get the ball back. Watson just didn't want to shoot it. Block. This was Thomas Allen. His left ankle. Ouch.
People are going to say, well, these guys not playing is a coaching problem. Well, yeah, I mean, look, it's going to fall on the coach. I mean, nobody denies that. But
I think it's fair to ask, why is the coach not connecting with these players?
Look, it is fair to ask. This whole we play for a guy or don't play for a guy is totally new. Totally new. I didn't care about Bob Knight. I cared about winning the game. We determined we were going to play for this guy, and I got to be connected. I didn't want to hear a word Coach Knight said other than basketball. I don't want to sit and listen to him. I want to hang out.
Watson high off the glass. Even the good moves, nothing's falling for the Cornhuskers.
It's one of those days. But I like Watson, though. I liked him when he came in. I like him now.
He's been one of the best players in their program's history.
No doubt.
Final 6 minutes here from Ann Arbor. Nice bounce-back performance by the Wolverines. They have been determined. They have played hard, and they've been a little more efficient.
Oh, the hook?
No. Kinda. Not really, but something.
Kind of the running throat.
Yeah, that was the Borkhardt shot put. Simpson's got a shoelace that's sort of half come undone, so he's tucked part of it in his sock. These are the details that I pay attention to.
I pay attention to what Roby's doing in the second half.
He's responding.
Yeah, how do you get a good shot? Well, you drive it. How do you get aggressive? You drive it. And then once you start driving it, guess what happens? You start making shots. When you just play hard, good things happen. Basketball is a living, breathing thing. It rewards those that play hard.
Ooh,
nice
that was
pass.
a great pass.
Dave, you can tell Iggy Brazdeikis is locked in. He told me it's all because of his pregame routine of meditation. Before every game, he sits alone in his locker and listens to recordings of rain falling. He says it relaxes him and helps him focus. And Dan, I have to ask about your pregame routines and if they involve rain sounds.
They do not. They involved Queen, We Are the Champion, Meatloaf, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, and never listen to a song on the way to a game because then it's in my head and I sing it for the rest of the game.
Now, is this as a broadcaster or as a player?
No, as a broadcaster, don't we just go to the pub before the game?
That's what all our viewers think.
There you go. No, as a broadcaster, as a player, everybody's got a different. You see headsets on guys, that kind of thing.
Not many have the rain sounds, like the fall asleep. That's the kind of opposite of what most players want.
A lot of people want to get, going. Let's go.
Well, Brazdeikis, he is the kind of personality where you can kind of think he could get overamped. Palmer That's what has made him one of the top scorers in the Big Ten. He was first team Big Ten last year.
He's a terrific player. But terrific players play well and hard all the time.
The rain falling.
Make it rain?
Yeah, we could go on. There are a lot of fun. This was a particularly rain-making three, I thought.
The Rain Man. Iggy.
Zubin, thank you very much. Looking forward to that. And tonight on SportsCenter, after that SC-UCLA game, big baseball news. Bryce Harper going to Philadelphia. Kyler Murray, I think the news was positive for him at the Combine today in your town. And then Jason Witten, that was big news as well for all of us at ESPN. Leaving the booth, going back to the NFL. ESPN Plus home to thousands of live events. You can watch over 2,500 college basketball games, plus the UFC and original programming. Start by downloading the ESPN app or visit ESPNplus.com.
Little monkeys here. Rest in peace, Peter Tork.
They did play that during the
I'm
timeout.
a believer.
We know that. Livers hits the first free throw.
He's had a good game. Livers came out in place of Charles Matthews. And you see the best, one of the best leaders. I'm not going to say he's the best leader in the Big Ten. Hard to beat Cassius Winston, but he is a dynamite leader.
Just a total alpha personality, hard worker. He's probably done for the night. Palmer has taken a while, but he's become much more aggressive. Livers played great defense there.
Double-double, that's why the crowd's cheering.
Oh, they know their hoops here.
They do know their hoops. It's a basketball school.
Well, that's what the folks in Columbus like to say. The people here don't love hearing that. It's a three, and it's perfect.
I told him if he did not shoot, I am ripping him. I told him at halftime. He was making everything. I said, you come in this game and you don't shoot, I'm crushing you.
Is that CJ Baird?
I don't know.
Who is that?
CJ Baird. I told him you have to shoot.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on.
This is a great
assist to the game. Brought to you by State Farm. That was a good assist, wasn't it?
That was really nice. It's a low hook. He's got the upper hook for the shot and the lower hook for the pass.
That's the State Farm assist to the game from Xavier Simpson. Livers comes out.
I'm going to tell you, CJ Baird has the best looking jump shot in this gym.
He just stroked that one.
I'm telling you, halftime he was on the left side and he made everything.
He looked at you, by the way, when he came down to this end of the court.
I had my hands up. I was giving him the three sign. I was going to do, you know, what's that called?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Who's going to get the ball?
CJ Baird.
Yes, he is. Is he going to shoot it again?
I hope they set a high ball screen for him and let him fly.
Oops. That would be a travel. Just about as graceful as this. This was earlier this afternoon, our friend, with the gymnastics team at UCLA, the number 2 ranked team in the country. Have you seen the floor routine from the one young woman for UCLA gymnastics?
I watch a lot, but I missed that one.
I'm telling you, I'm not joking. I'm not joking. You got to go watch it.
I will.
They are a great team, and Bill was spending some time with them this afternoon, apparently. And that's all I got on that. Castleton gets the block.
Feed CJ Baird.
Final
Here he is.
and a half. He was open.
There you go.
And a shot for Adrian Nunez. That one goes. And your score is?
He stuck the landing.
That's a 10.
tell you what, he throws jazz hands in there, and then we're really rolling. How about Castleton?
He's giving. Look, wait, you gotta get CJ a little thumbs up.
Don't take him out. Come on.
All right, he got his shot. He gave you the thumbs up, though.
I saw it, but man.
Because you told him if you don't shoot, you're going to be mad at him.
He's going to crush him.
Castleton missed that one. It's been a career night for a lot of different players.
Oh, nice cannon. What a great shooting stroke.
Looked like he's done that a million times on this stage. I mean, he's done it a million times, but he's ready to go. That was a good move from Amir Harris. Final minute plus here. Another substitution for the Wolverines. You and I will have Nebraska. And Castleton deserves that ovation.
Yes, he does.
He's going to be a factor for them somehow from now until the end of the year.
I agree with that.
Not just tonight in a blowout.
And he can shoot the basketball as well. I mean, he's a Michigan player.
All right, we'll continue our thoughts on the end of this game right after this. All right, Michigan with their win tonight. They match Purdue and Michigan State in the win column. Still a half game back with one more loss. Purdue gets Ohio State this weekend. Michigan State has to go to Indiana, a team that beat them in East Lansing. That's not a gimme. They get Nebraska at home. You and I will be there on Tuesday for that one, and then they finish, of course, with these Wolverines in East Lansing.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting at Indiana. I think Indiana's playing defense, and they're dangerous. Two players, Romeo Langford, Juwan Morgan, can get it in the bucket. El Durham played better. It's going to be a good game. Very, very good game. And it'll be packed and crazy and send me home. Oh, why not?
Nunez, did he call glass?
I think he got a little excited. He jumped up high.
He's a recruited player. He's a guy who could contribute.
They think number 23, Johns, is going to be really good.
Meanwhile, another kid getting to play who doesn't often, Luke Wilson. He has an interesting routine we spotted during the pregame warm-ups. He needs a little help.
That's awesome. That's so great.
You think this team likes each other? They do.
Brother of Owen Wilson.
Luke and Owen, yeah. Different Luke.
Oh.
This one's a little shorter. This is Costello at the free throw line.
Brother of Elvis.
Justin.
Oh.
What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? He's from Omaha.
Uncle named Abbott.
This game needs to end.
I gotta go to the bathroom. It really does.
Well, you and I will have the next Nebraska game, so they get the whole weekend off. What does that mean for the Cornhuskers?
You know, guys have to make decisions. Practice in the morning, practice in the afternoon, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, there's no fixing this by talking. And, you know, I know that we're all into, you know, being nice to the students and blah, 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 blah. But sometimes, he's going to be good. I'm telling you, they think he's going to be a first-round pick.
That's what happens here at Michigan. You can be talented, but they have experience typically, and they're a developmental program. So it might not happen right away. Not a lot of one-and-dones. But John Beilein will make you better.
Every day. There'll be a workout tomorrow. Well, they play Sunday, so there'll be an all-star game. Castleton will probably be in it. DeJulius will be in it. C.J. Baird. They'll get guys in the gym. Austin Davis.
Two coaches having a little chat there. I think Jim has enjoyed himself tonight.
I'll tell you what, there is so many down-to-the-wire games in the Big Ten that it's awesome to be able to do that right there on the sideline one time. You don't get many of these games in the Big Ten.
I mean, even a team as good as Michigan, top 10, they've had a lot of nail bites.
They are. I mean, it's just tough. And to have one afternoon or evening like that's pretty good.
bounce back? Yes, for the Wolverines.
Absolutely. Great effort right from the get-go. Matthews out. Livers came in and was fantastic.
Now hopefully Charles Matthews is going to be okay sooner rather than later. He missed his senior day, which is a bummer. There was nothing else that was a bummer for Michigan tonight. 82-53, the final score for Molly McGrath, Dan Dockage, and Jim Harbaugh. Dave Fleming saying so long. USC, UCLA coming up soon.